year on from our original Wales trip, we returned to the south of the country to see more of its industrial heritage. We first stopped at the Blaenavon Ironworks, a World Heritage Site. This was responsible for making affordable iron ores available worldwide during the Industrial Revolution. As well as metals, South Wales communities would become defined by another industry: coal. The South Wales coalfield gave rise to hundreds of collieries of various sizes. We visited the sites of just a few. Big Pit Mine is now a popular museum, with the original buildings and locomotives facing the road. While some of the colliery sites have become educational tourist developments, other sites have had less good fates. Penallta Colliery is in a state of limbo, with the large power hall and headstocks remaining as a distinct reminder upon the landscape. The headstocks are the winches for the lifts which would have sent workers down into the shafts below, now capped. Whilst part of this colliery lies abandoned, the rest has been converted into new apartments. However, due to financial challenges, some of the part restored buildings remain incomplete amongst the abandonments. Since the National Coal Board was dissolved in 1987, collieries struggled to survive as imported coal became cheaper. Here we are inside a derelict engine hall at Penallta. In this impressive room, built at the turn of the century, huge winding engines and generators would have run 24/7 to power the mineshaft lifts. Despite its rundown appearance, it still bears some ornate details. A huge overhead crane would have moved along its length, which now rests rusting in place at the far end. The building appears to be altered at some point, with its roof replaced and the original steam engines replaced by electric ones in the early 1960s. Inside this stripped listed shell, 48 homes have been funded to be built. It survives as one of the more decorative pieces of Wales coal mining architecture. Less stylish, but equally as cool, is this otherworldly structure. It's not a UFO, but it is in fact the washery of the Hafodyryns colliery. It would have rinsed coal dust from a slurry of waste. It stands today as the final bold reminder of the demolished mine. We ventured nearby to the site of another washery. Like a monument to a lost civilization, the Blaenserchan colliery washery now protrudes from the valley alone. Of a different design to Hafodyryns, coal washeries were an extra process rare before World War II. In the 50s, they became more commonplace, and these structures were left behind. We ventured back to Big Pit Colliery when it was open to take a closer look. We were taken on tour of the surviving mine underground. However, we can only show you footage of a reconstruction, as sparks from electronics still poses a risk to the flammable gases which may lurk underground. As well as washeries, one of the other features which emerged as coal mines modernised was pit head baths. These wouldn't have washed coal, but rather coal miners. The restored bathhouse at Big Pit now houses its museum. Oh look, it's that mug we found. The pithead bathhouse at Penallta stands derelict. A few towns away, so does the bathhouse at Llanhilleth. Mines emerging from the pits would come back blackened with coal dust. It was in baths like these that they would freshen up and change before heading home to their families or to hit the town. This bathhouse was built in May 1941. It was in the 1930s that bathing facilities became popularly introduced to modernise the coal mines, and this one was built relatively late. The bathhouse had 98 cubicles and 912 lockers. The mine closed in only 1962. And the bathhouse is one of the last remnants left. Here, nature has taken over. Trees have pushed their way up through the floor. The damp and cold continues to rot the building and what's left inside of its furniture. It's wet on the ground. The baths have become controversial in recent years. Facing a residential street, the abandoned structure escaped demolition in 2008 when the owner and residents rejected a compulsory purchase order from the council. Now in 2021, the council's wishes to redevelop the site have emerged again, seeing the baths as an eyesore, blocking the regeneration of the village. Some say this is a heritage asset, others say it's trash. Either way, the ruins of South Wales collieries have an important story to tell.